The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, welcome everybody, welcome. I wanted to go ahead and thank you for joining us this evening, and just wanted to make sure if everybody if they can hear me clearly, just type in 1, so I know everybody's hearing me real clear right now. Okay, perfect, thank you. Claude, why don't you go ahead and talk here real quick, and let's see, make sure that they can hear you also.
Hey everybody, Claude Diamond here in beautiful Winter Park, Colorado, 10,000 feet up. We're going to do talk about the applications we all can't live without, what we use to run our real estate, our sales business, any business really. The apps that keep us organized, keep us from going crazy. The apps that I'll talk about are simple, easy to use, and as free as possibly can be. How's my sound? Is the music too loud for you guys? Is that good?
Yep, looks like it's fine, Claude. I'm going to switch over and have you take over now.
Okay, good. Show my screen. Okay, am I good? Do I have to click on anything else here, Henry?
I've just expanded out, and that's it.
All right. How about this little camera thing here? You don't need to see me, right, folks? Is this the camera if they want to see me?
Yep, that's the little camera if they want to see you.
Okay, hey everybody, how's it going here? Another bad hair day in Colorado. I've got a mind map here. Can we get this mind map to them later on, Henry, or email it to anybody who's registered?
Yep, we'll get that out to them also.
I love mind maps. I don't know if that's maybe one of the ones I should talk about. I'm going to get rid of the screen and go to the full screen for now. Turn that off. People can see you. Okay. And we're just going to go to my full screen here. This is a real casual, how's the music? Is it distracting? Is it all right? Henry?
Sounds all right here.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And you're recording also. We want to talk about apps that run our business, our favorite apps, the ones we use to run the business. I look for certain things. I'm going to turn down this music just a little bit here, which is also one of my favorite little apps, Spotify. Okay. Get rid of that. What happened to my mind map? Okay. There we go. The apps that I look for to run my business, I like them, first of all, to be simple. I want them to be, I have a real pet peeve with there's a lot of apps out there. Henry, you know which app I'm going to talk about. There's some very popular, very expensive apps. This is not what I talk about. This is not what I want. I want simple stuff. I want apps that I can just turn on and put right to work very quickly. I don't want to read manuals. I don't want to spend hours on them. I don't want synchronization is a real big thing for me. I'm a Mac guy, but that doesn't really matter. I want it to work on my laptop. I want it to synchronize with my iPad, my iPhone. Most of you folks have an Android or an iPhone or some kind of a Kindle or something. I want it to work on all my equipment and synchronize beautifully. So that's what I really look for. I don't want things that are just going to take me. We've all had applications. My God, we had to take full college courses to learn how to use them. They're just not what I like. Some of them, like, and I'm going to be a little subjective here. Some of them, like, oh my gosh, Salesforce or Podio and things. There's nothing wrong with those apps before you guys jump all over me. I just don't want to spend hours and days reading the manuals to learn how to use them. I want them up. I want them simple. I want them intuitive. I want the synchronization. I want a short learning curve. I want them to be beautiful, too. I like the apps that are nice. They're eye-appealing. and they work tactily very well. I like freemium too. What is that? Free and premium, Henry? It's basically, yeah. It's basically, I like the apps that you can get to test for a while and then use. This app, by the way, that I'm using right now, just to put this together for you guys, this is called MindNode. And let me just, I'll pull it up here. I love mind maps. I think mind maps are just a great, whenever I start a project, I write a book, I work on a real estate deal, I might set up a MindNode or a mind map. This is the software that I use. It's just beautiful. Let's see if I can get out of this here so I can show it to you a little bit. And these are just some of my favorite apps. Henry and I are going to be doing a very specific webinar on September 25th, Thursday, same time as tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, where we're going to actually show you how I use these things, because we just don't have the time tonight in 60 minutes. But here's MindNode, just a wonderful app. You can basically start any new app just like this, and by clicking it, you can add all kinds of pictures and things to it. It's fantastic. Let me get rid of this thing because I don't need it right now. So that's one of my favorites. One of the ones that I probably use, if any folks have spoken with me, I'm a Skypeaholic. Okay, I use Skype every day. I do all my meetings on it. I do my training on it. I love doing sales on Skype. My business is very sales-oriented. You guys know I talk about the gut sales method a great deal. With Skype on my phone, my pad, my laptop, I can make a phone call. I have clients in over 14 different countries right now: Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Hong Kong, South America, England, Canada, Mexico. I can make phone calls or Skype calls, which are live video calls. And I love it. Skype is basically free. You can add on a few little extras to it. I use the one called, if you can see my screen here, the Skype recorder. And I can show you when we do the webinar, I'll show you how I use it, how I record all these videos. You can literally build up your own library of video conferences. If any of you are ever thinking of starting a business, teaching, or consulting, this is indispensable, this call recorder, which is tied into Skype. You can also, one of the things I love is do the file transfer. You can text people. You can make phone calls anywhere, like I said. The big power of Skype, though, it is owned now by Microsoft, and there is a little bit of a learning curve. I'll show you guys during the webinar how I use it, but it's a phenomenal piece of software, and I use it every day for hours. Henry, anything you want to add about Skype there? I mean, there's other things out there. You use what, Google Hangouts?
I mean, Google Hangouts is one, you guys, but Skype is now becoming a lot more, I think, efficient. Microsoft is really pouring a lot of money into it, so and it's becoming more and more mobile friendly, which is nice too. You're able to use it there on your mobile phone.
Yeah, exactly. And the applications on my iPhone or your Android or on my iPad mini or your regular iPad, yeah, where we have a much better camera, it's phenomenal. When I travel, I can use Wi-Fi for my iPad. On my iPhone, I don't even need that as long as I have a good Verizon connection. It's indispensable. I cannot live without Skype anymore. I love it because I think in terms of sales, when you're negotiating a deal or trying to sell somebody, adding that face-to-face, and the connections are brilliant. I mean, they just sound, the sound quality is great, the visual's good. It's just one of my favorites. Now, let's skip to another one here. One of the ones I use a great deal is Google Voice. I don't know if all you folks are using this yet. This has, I live in several different places: Hawaii, San Diego, Colorado. I travel a lot to New York to see my daughter. I go to North Carolina. I like to travel, and I take my usually my iPhone and my iPad with me. Now, when I have all these different phone numbers in all these different locations, I still have landlines. And by the way, I think if you run a business, you got to keep the landline because sometimes the cell phone will not work. The power goes down, the tower goes down. I've been in storms before, or the VOI and if the cell service doesn't work, then usually don't have Wi-Fi either. So I have cell phones. I have all different kinds of communication devices. I tie them all into Google. Google gives you a phone number, one phone number. Mine is 970-281-5151, and it'll actually call my cell phone. It'll call New York. It'll call Hawaii. It'll call California and Colorado. It'll call all my phones that I put into it. It'll even call on my Skype phone that I was talking about up here. I have an actual dedicated phone number for Skype. And Google Voice will call that number and everywhere else. So anybody can find me in my marketing. I want to talk to people. I think that's essential in sales, no matter what business, is good communication. So now I have one phone number, and it goes to everybody. The best part about it is it actually filters a lot of the calls, so I don't get the junk calls. I use, most of you know, YouTube. I use it for marketing. I'm not going to get into it too much today. But YouTube has been essential in my marketing. I have over 200 videos out there. YouTube is owned by none other than Google. And if I do a topic of interest, I put it onto my YouTube channel. I blast it out. I tie it into all my social networking, which we'll talk about more on September 25th. I really want to talk about using social networking for marketing our business, for finding deals, and for getting people to call me. I believe in something called virtual attraction marketing, which will also tie into this applications on the 25th. I want to make it so people find me, people call me. I love those warm calls. You know, cold calling, it's okay. Listen, we know how to convert call. If you're a student of mine or you've read my book, you know we can convert the cold call into a warm call. But what we really want is more warm calls, and we want when the prospect is calling us. So it all ties into these applications and using Google Voice, Skype, and a lot of YouTube marketing. Maybe I should go to my biggie here right away, Henry. Do you have any comments before I move to my favorite here?
No. I mean, I'd go right ahead.
Okay. I use Evernote. If you guys know me, I love Evernote. I think anybody who's using the Podio or OneNote or anything, I think I'm very, this is a very, very opinionated. I hope I don't offend anybody. Evernote to me is genius. It's free. All these things I'm talking about, by the way, they're all free. They're all free. All these things are free, and there's many more we'll talk about also on September 25th. But Evernote is just, it's basically a place. I like to compare it to the old grammar school notebook we had. You know, the old composition notebook that was black and white on the cover. And into Evernote, I put everything. I mean, emails, different web addresses. I can put in pictures, all different kinds of things. They are just expanding it like crazy. And you literally save everything, and you give it, and it works the way you want to work it. You give every note that you type, every email that you want to save, every web page that you have. You basically put your own tag or meta tag in it and save it so you can always locate it. So if you have real estate pictures, you type in your meta tag real estate, and that's your notebook. And then you can give it a subtitle. The properties in the south, properties in the north. You can use the longitude and latitude. And literally, you know, we've all lost things. And what I'm going to do is show you how I use Evernote exclusively in running my business, so I never lose a contract, I never lose a contact, I never lose spreadsheets. Everything is in Evernote. To me, this is invaluable when I'm traveling. All I have to do is go on someone else's web page or go into mine. Now, you can upgrade a lot of these apps that I'm talking about, you can upgrade to the professional. I've done all that. Evernote has a professional model, a business model. I think the costs are nominal. I think I'm spending $65, $75 a year on the upgrade for Evernote. They have something over here also called Penultimate. Penultimate is just beautiful because, and let me see if I can go back to the screen here, and I'll show you guys just for a second. Henry, don't get mad at me if I show him a few things tonight, right?
Oh, that's fine. It's just there's so much, I know, but you know, go.
I know there's too much. I know it's lovely. Let's see. Your camera's hidden. Where's my camera?
We see you there, Claude.
Oh, you can see me? Okay, because I can't see me. I don't know where maybe it's in my, down here, down there. Nope, it's nowhere. I don't know.
That's okay.
I won't see. So let me know. Basically, this is my iPad mini, guys. This is Penultimate. It's tied right in. So sometimes you're taking notes, handwritten notes, and you get yourself a little stylus, and you can just write your little notes, whatever you want, right on the screen here. Note number 1, buy property. Number 2, how much money. You can do all these different things and write these notes, and then all you have to do is save it, and it goes right back into your main Evernote notebook or file. So I hope you all can see this right now. So this is one of the great little sub-apps that Evernote is developing. They're constantly, I think they're valued at some billions, what, $30–40 billion or something like that, Henry?
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
And they keep making things to make it easier.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I mean, that's one of the things, and I wouldn't be surprised that some company will come in and buy them out to help integrate what they do, and it wouldn't surprise me if it would be Google. So I'll you know, at some point when you finish up here, I'll touch a little bit on that too. But yeah, they're valued quite a bit.
They have another, and they have so many what I call the sub apps. Here's the one called Web Clipper, and basically, if I go on let me just go into something here. Just a regular sheet here. If you see, I have say I want to save this web page on direct mail. I have the little elephant on the screen here. All I have to do is click this elephant, and it'll put it right into. It'll store it right into Evernote. That's simple. Or I can take the link right here and just drag it right down to my elephant. And now it's stored in Evernote. And here is like all my files, anything I want, I can find. It's a phenomenal application. Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of this. Let me go back to my screen. Not that one. So I'm going to get really into depth on Evernote. Henry, you want to? Are you using Podio or Salesforce or something like that? It's okay to disagree with me here. Well, I'm a little, it's like religion and politics.
Well, it's true. And that was one of the things, that I looked at. Whether you're doing lease options, whether you're flipping houses, I do vacant land. You need some sort of system in order to keep things organized because, in real estate, the money is really being made on the follow-up, on the follow-through, And so, you can get into a situation where you've sent out, 2,000 mailers and you get 45 phone calls and you've got yellow sticky notes all over the place. And so essentially you need to keep those things organized, be able to follow up with them. And so to answer your question, yes, Podio is one system that I do use to start keeping track of a lot of my real estate leads, and that in itself is a whole lot of things, but you need to have some sort of CRM system, and that is one thing I do use, but there's some alternatives that we can look at too that are free. Podio is free also, but there's some other systems that may be a little bit easier to use. So to answer your question, Claude, Podio is one.
The question about Podio is there's a pretty there's a pretty good learning curve on there, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean it is. There definitely is a learning
Henry?
curve. Yes. Yeah, no, there definitely is a learning curve, with it. And so it does take some time to be able to do it with it. But the whole premise here, Claude, is essentially be able to have something.
Yeah, just to show, there's something else. You can take photos here on Evernote. We'll get into that too. You can take a business card, and it will actually, this is one of the newer features they have. You take the picture of the business card, and I'll show that on the 25th, and it actually takes character recognition, the information, the phone number, the email. It will actually take it through the system of Evernote main. You take the picture of the business card, and it stores it in Evernote, just like a address book now. There's so many features into this whole Evernote system. I could do the seminar just on Evernote and how it works with my business. Now, here's one of my new discoveries. If you guys are getting my newsletter, and I'm sending out a new Success Stories newsletter tomorrow. If you're not getting it, make sure you send me an email, and I'll see, to mentor@mac, I'll see you get it. We have a new one, and my Success Stories newsletters always have the newest training videos and great information and links in it, and it's all on one page. I see a revolution in web pages in marketing. Our original web pages are basically a lot of different tabs. On the top, we click a tab, we click another tab, or we go to different blogs where we're scrolling endlessly forever. Postwire has done something really brilliant. They have taken it, now let me see if I can just go here real quick. Henry, you'll let me know if the screen works pretty good. Here, here's my old Success Stories newsletter. And here is my new web page. This is like a web page for me. I can make an individual web page for my clients. They can click on a video, different videos. They can click on subscription. They can go to TonTrade. I'll talk to about that in a while. They can read PDFs. All these different things. There's a picture from Henry and his little girl on another promo we did. Look at that. It goes right in there. And then we click and we go right back into it. It's a one-page web page. Here's all my contact information to schedule a meeting with me, to see my LinkedIn profile, or to just Skype me. It's all here on one page, very little scrolling. There's our buddy Joe McCall and Larry and Mariska. And all they have to do is click on it, and they go, and they stay in this one page. I love this system. I think we lose people when we get too complicated. So I am just a nut over Postwire. I think it just blows away all the different the blogs and things like that. I do use blogs. I use Weebly for my web page. Probably the easiest place in the world to set up your own web page. There is a free demo, but it's very limited. But it's very I think I'm paying $35, $40 a year to set up the web page. Then we have the Tumblr is my favorite blog for my business to put up web pages, put up real estate pictures and things like that. We're all familiar with WordPress and Blogger and Instagram. These are all the usual ones, but the one I use the most now is Postwire. I am just transporting everything into this. You can set up as many different pages as you want. You can customize them for one client or use them for everything. I have a lease purchase page. I have a sales training page. I have a newsletter page. So this is something I want to demonstrate and show more of on the 25th when we have our full webinar. Getting paid. I don't think a day goes by where someone doesn't ask me about how to get paid. I use two systems basically. My main merchant account, we have an Elavon account. We also have a Wells Fargo account. Let me put that in there. Wells Fargo, I recommend it highly. If you're running a business, you have to take credit cards all day long. Wells Fargo is just state-of-the-art, much better than anybody else I've been using. We switched over to them about 2 years ago. They're really much better to deal with. Henry and I had a very good experience. We did a what we would call it, a workshop in San Diego, and we used this new little device from PayPal. I think it's called PayPal here, Henry.
Yes.
And it's a little device. They give it to you for free. You have to have a PayPal account, and you just plug it into the top of your Android or iPhone, and your money goes right to your PayPal account. You can switch it over to your bank account. This thing works flawlessly with my iPad. It plugs into everything. Really good device. Those of you who know me know I love video. I think when you're dealing with people under 30, they want videos rather than emails as much. I use iJot. iJot to me is, it makes an impression. I get very few video emails from people, and I like that. I like to do things that are different. So I send, I get a new prospect. I'm negotiating with somebody. I'll send them a video email. iJot is wonderful. It's also free, and you can do the professional model that you upgrade to, and I think it's only about $20, by the way. You can do all the attachments that you want to it, PDFs, videos, and links to your video email. You can even embed your video emails into other web pages. I'll talk about that in greater detail on the other webinar. Henry, are you using iJot a little bit?
I have, Claude, not as much as I'd like to, but yes, that's definitely one thing you want to be able to do, just to set yourself apart from all the other emails, possibly your prospects or whoever you're talking to might get.
I think I forgot the most important thing. I'm going to put a little note here. When someone gets an iJot from me, I get a confirmation. I get an email that they opened it up. Do you see the power in sending an offer to someone, a video email, then you get a confirmation? And by the way, we're going to show you how to use all these different applications for your business at the other webinar. But when someone opens up my video email, I get an email, tells me they're opening it up, and then I'll call them up and I'll say, hey, Mr. Serrano, Claude Diamond here. I just wanted to see if you have any questions, anything I can answer. And what do you think you're going to say, Henry?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you say,
you're going to say, hey. Well, you're going to say, hey, I was just watching your video, right?
Yep.
By the way, I forgot to say the same thing. You get this is in Postwire. You get a confirmation when they open it up. If I could spell confirmation right. There we go. So when I send someone a Postwire, I just have to put it in there. I send it to a potential prospect. Okay? When they get it and they open it, I get an email. That means that now I think I have a right to call them and engage them in a conversation, because sales is always about conversations. Oh,
and
let me get to... Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, I wanted to add something in there real quick, you guys. I mean, a lot of these things that Claude's going over, you guys, this is something that's going to help you set yourself apart from a lot of other individuals, especially if you're wholesaling homes, because there's a lot of competition right now that's starting to happen that people are starting to get back into as far as real estate is concerned. And if you do real estate like myself all across the country, you need to develop that credibility. And if they see a video from you, now it's something that now your credibility goes way above everybody else who just sends an email, from that. So that's where I'm saying where that iJot comes in, Claude. Essentially, it just sets you apart from everybody else, and that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you want to be unique. One of the rules I teach in my gut sales and success system is if your competition's doing it, stop. We don't want to be the same tired copycat marketer like our competition. We want to stand out. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're all mailing the same yellow letters, the same postcards. You want to do things unique. Send them a video email. Send them a personalized web page. in Postwire. Save your notes in Evernote so you're organized. You know how we always lose things? I lose things all the time. Or I open a web page, say, oh, I wish I could find that web page again and have the information or the applications I need. I store it here. I send these out to people. I get paid through here. All great stuff. One of the ones I've been using, and admittedly, I've had trouble in the past with this one. It's called TimeTrade. Those of you who are my students who I've worked with, they fixed it up, and they have very good customer service. I'm glad to say. I had some problems. They helped me fix it. TimeTrade is a scheduling software. It is not free, but it's I don't know if they have a demo or not, but for me, scheduling is essential. I want to have appointments set, and a lot of times I'll talk to a prospect. I'll give them a link, or I'll email them an invitation, and they'll go right to my calendar, and they can just schedule themselves. And it's wonderful. They see my schedule, and then it's embedded right into, I use iCal, by the way, and then like a day like today, I had a very busy day today. Okay, these are all my meetings, and they will automatically insert these different meetings right in here for me. I cannot live without TimeTrade anymore. It is just become very important to my business, scheduling. And the nice thing is, I get a lot of prospects who see the TimeTrade link in my Postwire and my blogs and my webpage. And even though I've never spoken to these people, I offer a free consultation in there. So they come in, they say, Claude, I need help selling my home or buying a home or investing in a home. And they schedule a half hour. By the way, it doesn't have to be a half hour. It can be 15 minutes. It can be 45, 1 hour, whatever you want. And now I'm talking to a prospect who is scheduled with me, and in order for them to schedule, they have to put in their contact information, their phone number and email and all that other good stuff. And so even if there was a fella today who's scheduled with me 2 weeks out, anybody can schedule with me usually 3 weeks or more out. You set all these parameters in TimeTrade. And I called up the fella and I said, hey, Mr. Smith, I saw you scheduled with me for next week. What did you want to talk about? And right away he said, I have a deal and I need some help with the contract. Well, we got into a good discussion, and we don't need that meeting 2 weeks from now. We were talking today. See, everything I'm doing is trying to bring people into my world, get the phone ringing, get the Skype ringing, so I'm talking to more people. Henry, are you using TimeTrade, or what are you using? What's your favorite app for scheduling?
Well, for scheduling, I use Google Calendar. You know, that's one of the things I do use.
That's a good one.
Yes.
That's one of the good. In fact, did you want to talk about Google for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to go ahead and jump in, I can jump in. You know, one of the things that I'm starting to expand on is with Google, so I'll just spend a few minutes just talking on that real quick, Claude. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll switch screens here, and so that everybody can take a look at it. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, you can go ahead and talk about some of the Google apps that you wanted to talk about, or I can finish up some of the other things here where if you need time.
I'll have you finish up, no problem. We'll go over some of the stuff. I want to leave a little bit time there for Q&A, but one of the things I wanted to mention here, you guys, is Google is really putting a lot of money into Hangouts, into things that integrate. And if you think about this, that's one of the things they're trying to do is dominate this whole area. You know, and basically be able to have one person so that whatever type of device they have, whether it's a mobile phone, whether it's a desktop, whether it's a tablet, they essentially want to basically have you come in and use their programs for everything, and also for businesses. And so one of the things here, Gmail is now starting to be one of the largest email services. You know, before it used to be AOL in the 90s, and then Yahoo came aboard, and now Gmail is becoming very, very dominant in that area. Well, one of the things here is Google Apps for Works, and so if you go in here, they have what they call their product suite, okay?
Henry, I can't see your screen.
Okay, let's see here.
Do you need me to do anything on my end here? Or?
You know what? Let me see here. If you can see my screen, you guys, just let me know.
Okay, I was covering you up.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. Yeah, I think everyone says they can see it. I can see it. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. Well, on here, you guys, this is their suite, their business email, their calendar, their storage. It's all in one place. So here's their communication. Gmail, like I mentioned, is there. They have their Hangouts, which is becoming more and more common now. They have the calendar. They have their Plus, which they're really pouring in a lot of money into this. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but they're really pouring a lot into this to try to dominate against Facebook. So this is something here that's incorporated. Here's a drive. You can share, sync, and everything else. Here are the documents. So you have docs, sheets, forms, surveys, slides, sites and things of that nature, and you can go ahead and manage it. So this is something here, if you do not have something to basically start your business, now all of a sudden you have this situation here, you guys, and you can try it for free right here. For 30 days, try it for free. But essentially what it does is it helps you put everything together. Your communication all in one place.
How much is it, Henry?
You see right in here, right where it says pricing, great question, Claude. So right in here, look at this, you guys. Unbelievable. $5 per user. If you're just by yourself, look at this, Claude.
Wow.
$5 essentially, you can do it, or $50 a year. And you have your own business email address, video and video calls. You have integrated online calendars, up to 30 gigabytes of storage, online text, document spreadsheets, easy projects, security admin, 24-hour phone support. Look at this, guys. Unreal. So the thing is if you travel like me quite a bit, you need to have something to be able to store everything, or what they call cloud. That's the biggest thing of the cloud computing. So you're not worried just in case if you lose your laptop or you drop it or everything's on your desktop. You have this availability, you guys, to basically get everything in there. Now, if you want to go up with unlimited storage, it's $10 a month or $120 a year. And it gives you all this information that you're able to do. So this is something that Google is really pouring a lot of money into for business support. So if you're starting out in whatever type of business you're in, now you have something that's integrated into everything like this. And this is something that, we'll talk a little bit more, but I just wanted to touch on this real quick, Claude, just to go over some of the information that somebody has from there. So the Google Apps for Works got something there that you guys can be able to use to integrate something all together, to go ahead and put your business as one. Okay. So
no, beautiful. It's all there in one place.
It is, and that's something there, Claude. Like I said, I'm gonna expand on a little bit more on how to set something up on a step-by-step process if nobody has anything to do. So, I wanted to highlight that just a little bit real quick, just in regards as far as individuals who like you said with your mind map, you've got different things. Well, here's one very simple service to at least get started in something, you guys, to help get yourself organized in your business. So, Claude, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Like I said, on the 25th, I'll expand and go more in depth on how to get things started within your business. But what I'll do, Claude, let me go ahead and let me send it back to you, and you can kind of continue with your presentation there.
Okay.
So,
I noticed you also had Google Drive there.
Yes. Yeah.
I've fooled around with Google Drive and some other storage. The one that I love is Dropbox. I'll tell you why I love Dropbox. My business went through an evolution. The Dropbox is a storage center, basically, where you can just store gigabytes, terabytes of information. You can send it to people. When I did a seminar, when I did a package, we would have to send it to a company in Texas. They would have to print the discs, do the packaging, send the packaging to me. Great deal of expense, guys. Then I would have to take the packaging. I would have to ship it to people. Now, everybody wants things instantly. I basically go to Dropbox. I think it's $99 a year if you want the premium one, but it's free otherwise. I love free. I think you get 5 gigabytes or so for free. And I literally am saving close to 6 figures a year in manufacturing and shipping costs by sending people digital packaging through Dropbox, and they recently just upgraded it, by the way, too, so you can put an expiration date. You send somebody something that they can use that you've sold, some intellectual property. They download it, they have it forever, they can store it in their Dropbox, and if you want, so it's not passed around or everything, you can actually put an expiration date on it. Henry, I think you're dying to say something here.
No, that is a very key thing that you want to be able to do, and you want to create a sense of urgency. So whenever I send out, some sort of real estate offer, or something like that, you're exactly right, Claude. I said, look, this offer is good until September 15th, and once you send it out and it's there, it disappears, and it's gone. My offer's already gone. That's it. So that creates at least some sort of motivation for them to do something. Tell me yes or no. I don't want to hear, I want to think about it. So that forces that type of situation, for your offers that you're sending out there. It shows that timeline. Obviously, you can put it in your, you can put it in your document and send it over to them. It'll sit in their email box forever. But if you have that timestamp on there where it disappears, and all of a sudden they can't click to it, believe me, that's going to have a sense of loss, and so that creates that urgency, you guys. So when you make your offers, remember that. That's a little tip there that I want you guys to know, so it forces that seller or that buyer to make that decision instead of sitting there wanting to think about it. So just wanted to add that real quick, Claude.
Let me show you guys one thing here real quick. Okay. Here are training, training videos
and I'm clicking right
that I have. And here are just gigabytes of training, live training videos that I have for my students that I store right on here. All I've got to do is click this little link. There's the link for them. I put their email in here. Mentor at me. I can write a little message. Hi, Claude. I can set the visibility. Who can see it, or people with the password, and can I have an expiration date? I can put 30 days, or I can customize it, whatever I want, and then I just send it to people. They get the link. You can, in terms of my business, contracts, photos, all kinds of things, this has become essential to my business. It's a phenomenal piece of software. There is ways to use this to store your contracts and many other different things here. Let's go back. Here's one. I don't know. Is everybody using Google Maps here? I know this sounds pretty common sense. Google Maps. Whenever I negotiate, when someone calls me about a property, I right away go into Google Maps. This thing has become essential, an app on all my devices. I look at the property, I can look at the neighborhood on the street. Then here's how it all ties in together, guys. I take the link from the Google map or the pictures of the diagram, and I will put it, guess where, right into Evernote here. I'll put a little tag, the property on Main Street in San Diego, California. So then when I go into Evernote 3, 4, 5 months later, and I want to look up the Smith property in San Diego, it's here in Evernote. This application, if you're not using it, you've got to get it. It's fantastic. Now Zillow also, we all know about Zillow, at least if you worked with me. Same thing with Zillow. I will find properties for sale or for rent by owner. We can filter it. If we had time, I'd show you how I use it. And then I copy the link from Zillow, store it right again into Evernote, so now I have it permanently in my file. I don't have to go through the whole search. I don't have to log into Zillow or Google Maps. It's stored. I have it when I need it. You're using these two also, I presume, Henry, for your real estate business.
Yeah, those are some of the things, and on the 25th, that's one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to physically put in that property to be able to market to a lot of buyers and sellers. So that's something
exactly.
I definitely expand on that.
Yeah, someone else did the work for you, and now you can reuse it, recycle it, as long as you stored it somewhere. Fiverr is something I have had tremendous success with, hiring people to do graphic work for me. I have one young lady in Sri Lanka right now. She is generating leads for me in a specific target market. I'm target marketing realtors right now. in certain Colorado key cities. And for $5, she is generating for me hundreds of leads. And these leads, I'm just taking them. And if you haven't gone to Fiverr, Fiverr.com, this is probably one of the best bargains on the web right now for all kinds of work. It's people who want to introduce their services. I think Odesk also. You've had experience with Odesk, Henry?
You know, I have, Claude, and on the 25th, I've got a special. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing is definitely going through Fiverr, but I've got a special report for everybody, you know, that I put together essentially on how to find people on Fiverr. So, you know, going through the ratings and everything else, that's something I'm going to talk about on the 25th. But to answer your question,
yes. The bargains, Odesk is really for finding your virtual assistants. Gosh, I think we could do a seminar just on that. Fiverr, you can find virtual assistants, but you can find graphic artists, people who can, I had one person for $5, they took tons of information from me and organized it into spreadsheets. I mean, something I would have probably had to pay hundreds of dollars to someone, and this is a person in another country, and they wanted to introduce their services for future work, and it just worked fantastic for me. This is something new that I've been using. I've always had a problem with emails. You know, I've used Constant Contact, I've used MailChimp and other services, and I've always had some issues with them where they shut you down if you have some bad emails or someone forgot you subscribed and they say you spammed them, and all of a sudden you're shut down. I do a lot of direct marketing through email, once again, to get the phone ringing. MailChimp came out with something new. They bought this company called TinyLetter. TinyLetter is really amazing. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here if we have a little bit of time. TinyLetter is old school email, basically an email server where you can, well, I can't do this right now because I'm on the screen, but you could basically send very simple emails to people. You can do up to 6,000 emails, so if you guys are doing have a subscription of a lot of clients, people you want to make offers to, you put them all, you put one letter into TinyLetter, you blast it out, and it's simple, it's easy to use, doesn't have a lot of fancy stuff, you can still do links and things like that. It's kind of an old school email browser blaster, and I've been using it a lot lately, and I love it. It's free, guys, and it's a pretty cool little system. The one system I am using for newsletters and things like that to tell people about when I have a new success stories on Postwire, I'm using something called directmail.com. Now this is an exception. This thing is beautiful because you can set up the most colorful, beautiful templates for your direct mail campaign, which I do a lot of. And they do charge you per email. But it's opt-in, opt-out, it's clean. They're more, I feel, they're more on the side of the sender, so long as you're not a spam or anything. I love this thing so much better than MailChimp, Constant Contact, all the others, and it's been working great for me. It does cost a little bit, but it's very well worth it because the emails I send out are just beautiful through this. Henry, you got anything to say about emails or when you're sending out email blasts or anything like that?
Well, that's some of the things because with Gmail changing things into tab now, that's been a big controversy here. There's a lot of people who have Gmail accounts have not been seeing a lot of the emails because Gmail has been segregating them that way. So unless they go through and pre-set up things, you know, they may be missing a lot of important things. So yeah, the better that it's able to go, that people can see, the better, you know, the better it is. And Claude, we got a couple more minutes here because I just want to take a couple of questions here. Okay. I'd like to give it within an hour, so if you want to wrap up some of your stuff, and then we'll answer a couple of questions here.
I'll wrap it up real quick here. I had one other thing I wanted to show. There's so many different apps out there that I use to run this business. One of them, sometimes I have to send very heavy files, and you know normally you can't send a heavy file, a file over 50 megabytes or 1 gigabyte. Two things that I use that are free, Send This File and Jumbo File. write these down, guys. These are great. Basically, you can take any heavy file or video or something that you can't normally send or transfer. If you're not in the mood to set it up in Dropbox or Evernote, you can use these two files, and I use them both. I interchange them all the time. They do have a little advertising, and they're always trying to upgrade you, but other than that, they're very good. I have a lot of other stuff here, but Henry, I'll turn this over to you now, buddy.
All right, thanks.
You said
Claude.
You have questions?
Well, we got a couple of questions. If you guys have questions right now, you can go ahead and ask. One of the questions that we did get, Claude, someone was asking, besides Craigslist, Kijiji, and Yellow Pages, what websites are the best to make cold calls for B2B selling? And you know, in that situation, you know, those are some of the free sites that you can get. Obviously, Craigslist are more of the smaller type of things. One of the things that I used to get whenever I was in insurance way back then, and I wanted to get a hold of a business to try to get their retirement plan or something, or their group health insurance plan, I used infousa.com. InfoUSA, that was one of the things that I was able to use to be able to pull up businesses within that certain area. So if that's your field and that's what you want to focus on, InfoUSA is one that you can be able to use. There's a lot of, you know, list providers out there if you want to. But I'm going to tell you guys, you know, the best things that I've always come from, I mean, you know, cold calling is good, but you need to have basically a system to be able to do it. You know, that's one of the things you want to be able to do. So cold calling still works, but like I'd mentioned, you have to have a system to go through quite a few numbers. So hopefully that answered your question there, Daniel, at least to give you a couple of ideas there. And
you know, I think the most important thing you said is, what business is Daniel talking about? If it's real estate, because I know we have a lot of people on there for real estate. The beauty of our business is that when someone has a house for sale or for rent, this is a business where the prospect actually pays to advertise to invite us to call them. You know, whether it's in Craigslist, Zillow, the MLS, newspapers, even you know, things like that. You're saying InfoUSA, that to buy an actual product list, a client list, Henry?
You know, that's one thing. If they're just strictly just cold and don't have anything, InfoUSA, they go by what they call SIC codes.
Right.
So it's a standard industry code that you can be able to do. So if you just want to focus on restaurants, you can do that. If you just want to focus on general contractors, you can do that. If you just want to focus on roofers, you can do that. So it helps narrow that system down if that's something you want to be able to do. But I'm going to tell you guys, for example, if you want to get involved with contractors, every county, every area has a building industry, BIA, so to speak. So a building industry association. Join that association. You don't necessarily have to be a contractor, but that's an association you can join. A lot of these types of businesses have some sort of associations to get to. You know, get yourself visible. That's the most important thing to do. The phone's a great system to leverage, but I also say get yourself out there in front of people. That's the best thing to be able to do.
Or, you know, jumping in here, Henry, how about just paying somebody, like I was talking about before. I found somebody for $5 who was scraping. I was looking for specific real estate agents with a specific company in a very vertical geographic area, okay, for a targeted marketing campaign that I want to do. I got not only the name of the person, their web page, the email address, and the phone numbers, hundreds of these people, so that when I call them, I know exactly who I'm speaking to. I can pitch them on my services. I'm a sales trainer, and I can just go right into it with that person. You know, and if there's too many, I want to keep busy. I always think the key to this business is talking to a lot of people, sending out emails, having attractive web pages like Postwire, or direct marketing, picking up the phone and calling up people, and make sure you're using the gut system so you're converting those cold calls into warm calls. Don't act like a typical telemarketer, because you know what the rejection rate is on that.
Yep. Well, good. That's a good answer to that. One last question here that we have, Claude, is we keep on talking about the 25th, and somebody wants to find out a little more information about that. So what I'm going to do, Claude, is let me go ahead and I'll switch the screen and kind of show everybody exactly what I am talking about here with that. So hold on just a minute and get this right in here.
I like that lovely music in the background there.
Yeah, you can turn up a little bit. I don't think anybody would mind.
One of our, it's not really an essential application, but I do use Spotify. I love Pandora. I use all these different music videos, and that's what's playing in our background right now for free.
Well, yeah, what I wanted to go ahead and show you guys is we just talked about this here. And on the 25th, as we mentioned, at 5 o'clock, we're going to be doing a workshop. And we're starting at 5, and, you know, we may not end until, you know, maybe late in the evening. You know, we're going to have quite a bit of information to go over. But on here, and I'll send the link here pretty soon so you guys can go to, but you know, we're going to be going over things. It's going to be live. It's going to be recorded. It's going to be a step-by-step implementation of applications. So like I showed on, if somebody just wants to get started right now, you know, Henry, I got a business. It's, you know, in real estate. I just need to get myself organized. Well, this is something here that I'm going to do a step-by-step situation. I'm going to be using the Google applications to initially get you guys started. Very simple. Along with that, I'm also, you know, we're going to have the PDF applications on how to get started. So that'll have a breakdown of it also. The other thing here is how to incorporate the applications in your business. Just like what Claude said, he's going to show you a system of how he implements as far as the leads are concerned, using TimeTrade, Evernote, everything to be able to communicate. So we're going to be talking about how to incorporate these applications in that thing. One of the things that you mentioned, finding the right virtual assistant to handle your applications. Now, Claude, you brought up something about Fiverr. I'm going to have a special report for everybody that comes on. Essentially, what I do is I have a service that goes through Fiverr and finds the best people for certain topics, whether it's for writing, whether it's for graphics. And so this is something here that I pay somebody to go through for Fiverr and basically qualify the best people in each one of those areas. I'm going to have that for somebody there, you know, as a special report, you know, that'll come on the webinar. The other thing is the recording of the webinar, the mind maps, and how the applications flow in my business, just like Claude showed you right there that he's going to be doing. And on top of that, you guys, we're going to have a bonus here webinar on the gut system. We're going to touch on that a little bit because regardless if it's real estate, insurance, whatever, you have to have some sort of system how to talk to buyers and sellers. And so essentially, you guys, I mean, it's just $49. I mean, that is a ridiculous price for all the stuff that we're going to put together here for you. So what I'm going to do, Claude, is I'm going to go ahead and I'll put the link down in there that you guys can go to. And so, you know, right there you can go ahead and sign up. If you cannot make it just for some reason that Thursday, you guys, it will be recorded. That is something that we are going to do. We will be recording it for you guys there. And so like I said, these are different things that we're going to do. And the whole thing here, you guys, is we're trying to organize you so you can do more deals. That's the key thing because believe me, I've been, you know, when I first started, I wasn't organized. I had deals slip through my fingers where I forgot to get back to that seller. And all of a sudden he said, well, you know what, I wish you would have talked to me 2 weeks ago. I just went ahead and sold it to this other person over here, you know. And so I've had things that have slipped through my hands because I just wasn't organized enough to be able to go ahead and get a hold of those people. So essentially what we're doing here, Claude, is we're going to help put something together if you're just getting started or if you're already in business, at least help organize some of the things for yourself to have some sort of structure to be able to do that. So
Henry, if I can just jump in. The problem with people who are seasoned investors or just getting started, we waste, gosh, hundreds of hours trying to find the right applications to stay organized, to do our marketing, to store information, and how do we use these different applications. And some of them are very costly and time-consuming. What we want to do is just give you guys a shortcut to what we both use as seasoned investors, what works for us, and save you heck of a lot of money and God knows how many hours, so you don't have to research. This is the stuff we use, the things that are practical. So I think maybe you should add some zeros to that $49 there, Henry. I don't know.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I just put it in there right now, you guys. I noticed I thought I'd put it in there, but it's in there right now in the chat box that you guys can go ahead and click to. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous price. There's a lot of good information. And one of the things I think the biggest thing, like I said, I mean, the Guts bonus webinar and then this special report alone, you guys, I'm going to tell you, I spent a lot of money, paying this individual, going through, and he went through the latest stuff through August for the best individuals within Fiverr to use. So it's a report that I put together. Like I said, if you're looking for that graphic artist, you're looking for a writer, a copywriter, you're looking for somebody to scrub something for you, I have certain things to be able to do that. So you're exactly right, Claude. I mean, we're putting this together essentially to help you get started in organizing your business, whether you're brand new right now or, like I said, you're a veteran where you just need to get yourself a little, some sort of organization.
This is good stuff, good information, guys. And I want to see how you use that whole Google system there. That's interesting to me. I can't wait to see that personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's some, when I came across it, Claude, that was one of the things that I noticed, is that there are a lot of different applications, whether it's a mail system, how to organize my leads, how do I follow up, how do I have an email system, and then the other thing is, hey, a lot of people, I mean, they're using their devices more and more. We're mobile, and so that's the thing. If you're at Starbucks or you go on vacation or something, run into McDonald's, you can log in and check some things to be able to do that. So that before, I used to use a service that would basically link my PC, go to my PC. That was really common because you left all your stuff on your hard drive. And so if you didn't have that report or you didn't save it somewhere, you had to log into your PC to do that. So I was using Go to My PC a lot. Well, sometimes I lost connections. I couldn't get on. There was a power outage. All of a sudden, boom, you can't get back on. So with this system, with the Google applications, that helps someone be able to go ahead and get organized to get on there.
Very good, Henry. Do we have to wrap this up, or do we have time for one question? Or
yeah, if somebody has one or two other questions, we can kind of continue to ask, or whether it's about the webinar coming up on the 25th, we can delve in a little bit more. The webinar and stuff, you guys, it's going to last a while. It's September from 5 p.m. to 8.
Yeah, that's Pacific time.
Yeah, that's Pacific time, and I apologize. That is Pacific time. So when you think of that, I know it's 8 o'clock there on the East Coast, those of you there, but, we'll try to get through as much as we can. If you go to bed, don't worry about it. It'll be recorded and something we can go ahead and send over to you guys.
Maybe we'll have some surprises, too, some bonuses and things.
There'll be some additional bonuses. I'll tell you, some of the stuff just in here alone, you guys, is worth it, and I'll be honest with you that. I mean, like I said, this special report here, it's taken me a little bit of a while. If you use Fiverr, if you haven't, this is something here with Fiverr. I'm able to go back and at least put something together for you guys to use, so you're not spending, hours to guess, who would make the most sense to be able to use.
Very good, Henry. Unless we have any, do we have any other questions? Otherwise,
I've been answering some of them here in the chat box. Some of the people have been asking about that, so I've been answering some of them. Hopefully everybody has a link to be able to go ahead and use it. But here's the opportunity, like I said, you guys, to go ahead and jump on and basically sign up for the webinar that we got coming up here on the 25th of this month. All right, Claude, any last notes or any more things that you may have?
No, the bottom line on this business is to work smart, not to waste a lot of time fooling around with we want to give you the applications that make the business work, that save you time. The way you make money in this business is you're spending your time getting prospects, attracting them, negotiating deals, speaking to as many people as possible, giving good phone all day long. We don't want the applications and all the processes and all the technology to get in the way of selling. So what we're trying to do is give you a shortcut to success. And this is why we picked up this topic. Henry and I were talking, basically the best question you can ask anybody at a dinner party, cocktail party, or a get-together is, what's your favorite app? Well, all we want to do is just share the apps that work, that we're using, that work for us, save you guys a lot of time and a lot of money. And that's all I've got to say about that, Henry. And thank you for setting this up. As usual, you're my technological guy here.
Yep. Well, listen, everybody, thank you very much. Hopefully you got a lot of value off of this. And like I said, if you can, go ahead and sign up. If you can't make it, don't worry. It's going to be recorded along with all the other reports and stuff, that we'll have for you guys. So if not, go ahead and have a good evening. And thank you for attending.
Take care, everybody. Good night.
All right. Good night.